Hey, thanks for checking out Fun Time Travel. So today we're going to talk about Carnival and Royal Caribbean. I don't think we're really going to come out with a which one's better because I think my favorite cruise line, your favorite cruise line is really the next one we're going on. They're both great cruise lines. They kind of target a similar market. Got a lot of similarities and they've got several differences. So let's check it out.
Okay, so we're going to start with ships. The Royal Caribbean Oasis class are the biggest ships in the world, and the upcoming Icon class is even bigger. Carnival's trying to play catch up with the XL class.
Yeah.
You know, they have the Carnival Celebration, and it is only 50 feet shorter than the Wonder of the Seas, but side by side, the Wonder is clearly a much bigger ship.
On average, the Royal Caribbean ships are probably bigger, but it's not always better. That being said, if you have a bigger ship, you can put more things to do on it. So,
yeah.
They've got that going for them.
But you can also get a lot more people.
A lot more people, absolutely.
Well, Royal Caribbean's Oasis class ships have Central Park and Boardwalk. They have the Solarium and the Aqua Theater, which are really cool. Mm-hmm. And then they have Flow Rider Surf Simulator, which adds a lot of excitement.
Especially both for, I think, viewers and
I
riders.
say for viewers, because I didn't know. But, Carnival has the Serenity Deck and has really stepped it up with their onboard roller coasters on the XL class ships.
Yeah, and that's the Mardi Gras, the Celebration, and of course the upcoming Jubilee. So those are really cool.
Hey, thanks for watching our video. We'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos.
And for more tips and tricks and cruising information, please check us out on our other channel, Sandy Sun Travel.
And if you're looking to plan a cruise or any other vacation, head on over to sandysuntravel.com where we can help you plan your dream vacation. Plus, if you're feeling lucky, you can scroll down the page to a spot where you can enter to win a dream vacation.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the ports. Now, this is where they tend to visit the same ports, right? I mean, there's not a ton of different places. Maybe they stop at a different spot in the same port, but they're all, the itineraries are very similar. The departure ports can vary, and this is where I think the cruise lines stand out a little bit from each other. Both cruise lines sail from places like Miami, Port Canaveral, Galveston,
right.
Those big major places, Seattle for Alaskan cruises and so on. But Carnival's got some of the smaller ships, and some of their smaller ships can home port in, smaller ports. So it leads to a larger variety of home ports in the U.S. Places like Mobile, Norfolk, Charleston kind of come to mind off the top of my head.
Yeah. Alternatively, Royal Caribbean will do a number of sailings in other parts of the world, like Europe and Asia.
Right.
Aside from Australia, Carnival only sails from the U.S. Another port that is different is their private island. Carnival Corporation has Half Moon Cay and Princess Cay. And these are quiet beach days for the most part.
Yeah, maybe some snorkeling or different things like that. Now, Royal Caribbean had really, maybe 10 years ago, really invested heavily in Coco Cay, which is their, it's kind of a destination in itself. It's complete with a full water park. They're just the balloon thing that goes up. Just a really cool place to spend a day. And even like their maybe quote-unquote lesser private island of Labadee also has a water park and a variety of different things, and still more thrilling than what Carnival currently offers. But both Carnival and Royal, they've got two new upcoming private Oasis ports that you might be interested in.
So Carnival has broken ground on what they are calling Carnival Grand Port, which will be larger than Coco Cay. And Royal Caribbean has announced that the Royal Beach Club at Paradise Point in Nassau.
That's going to be coming soon, yeah.
Yeah. So these two new ports could really be exciting.
Okay, so the drink packages are a place where these cruise lines are very different. A drink package essentially turns your cruise into an all-inclusive vacation. And we've done drink package videos on both of these cruise lines. And if you want a detailed description, search for those videos on our channel, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Now, the major differences between these packages are the pricing structure and the number of drinks that are offered in the alcohol packages.
Carnival charges around $60 a person per day, plus gratuity. And with their package, you are limited to 15 alcoholic drinks per person per day. Now, Royal Caribbean adjusts the price based on ship, itinerary, and other factors.
Yeah.
But it can vary from $60 per person per day to $110 a person per day, plus gratuity.
Yeah.
But Royal Caribbean's package is truly unlimited. That being said, neither cruise line will allow you to share drinks with other people who don't have drink packages.
Yeah, that's always the big question. Can I?
Yeah.
You could try it, but if they catch you, I suspect that you'll either have to pay or lose your package.
Lose your package, yeah.
Now, food is it's a big deal on a cruise ship. It seems like everybody's talking about the food.
Yeah.
And the food is relatively similar between the cruise lines, I think, although I will say that the overall experience in the main dining room on Royal Caribbean seemed to be just, maybe this is not the right word, but it just was a little bit classier on Royal than what I've experienced on Carnival. Of course, on Carnival, when you're in main dining room, you always have it's showtime.
Yeah.
And they just don't really do that on Royal Caribbean. And if that's something you really like, then stick with Carnival.
Yeah.
Now, included dining options is really where the two lines are different. The main dining room and buffets are obviously always included, but we feel like Carnival maybe has a little more included dining outside of those venues.
So on Carnival, they have options like the Blue Iguana Cantina, which is one of our faves.
Yeah.
They have Guy's Burgers, and then they have Shack's Chicken, which are all included on Carnival. But Royal does not have free options to match.
Yeah.
Royal does have a few things like the Promenade Cafe, which is very nice, and they have free pizza, but so does Carnival.
True.
It just feels like there are fewer included options available on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, and one point of comparison here, we've talked about this ahead of time, but Guy's Burgers, which is a huge fan favorite, right? Everybody loves Guy's Burgers. The comparable option on Royal Caribbean is Johnny Rockets. And, I'm sure that I'm going to say this, and some of you are going to be like, you're crazy. I think they're really similar. The big difference is Johnny Rockets costs you $15 for that same thing that's included for free on Royal Caribbean. So just things like that just kind of stand out.
They have lots of food options. You just have to pay for them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So what's the vibe on board? What's the feel? I would never say the word vibe. I think of the movie Dumb and Dumber where they're like throwing out the vibe. Sorry. Anyway, of all the comparisons here, this one is really going to be the most about your personal opinion. These are all our opinions, obviously, but this one really boils down to what's your flavor, what's your cup of tea. And, Carnival, they call their ships the fun ships, and it's really a fair assessment. Maybe the best comparison, aside from maybe the differences in, say, cruise directors on Carnival are really vibrant and lively, and the cruise directors on Royal Caribbean are awesome, but they're a little more mature, reserved. I don't know. It's just a little different feel. But maybe the best comparison is the sail away party at embarkation.
The moment that you board a Carnival ship, it feels like you walked into a party, which I love that feel. Again, it's personal preference. The music is thumping as you walk into the atrium, and the fun squad is always welcoming you on board, and you just know you're going to have a good time. It's going to be a fun time. And when you board a Royal Caribbean ship, it feels as if you're walking into a mall, but a very exciting mall.
Yeah, they still have the vibrant music and stuff, right? But it's like you walk in, it just...
The energy is just different.
That's the right word.
Yeah.
The promenade is such a cool space, but it just doesn't have that same vibrancy as you do when you board a Carnival ship. Now, the same thing can be said about the sail away parties. There are hundreds of people packed onto the Lido deck and maybe in the Lido deck pool for sail away, and it is literally
on Carnival.
On Carnival, yeah. It's a can't miss party. You get on. There's sometimes there's the Lido deck's full, and then if there's one or two tiers around, that's all full, and people are just they're all dancing along, and the whole thing is just like kapow.
Yeah.
And often on a Royal Caribbean ship, it just feels almost like another thing that just has to get done. I don't know if you have hundreds of people on the sail away at Carnival, and then, there's 50 or 100 people, and even just the tone of my voice, it's just the difference. It's like, hey, I wish I could explain it better than that. You just have to be there.
It's, again, a personal preference thing. Because
maybe you don't want that oonce in the Cuban shuffle and the the wobble. Maybe you wobbled enough. I don't know.
Another thing that we compared is the decor. A lot of the older Carnival ships were known for their wild and almost gaudy decor.
Yeah.
Kind of liked it, but anyways, starting with the Dream class, the ships have taken on a little classier look, and the Excel class ships have even stepped it up a bit more with their new exciting, atrium designs.
Yeah, and some of the lines and different things just feel a little bit elevated from what it was before. They were still fun. It's still fun now. It's just a different flavor. And you could say that a lot of people will say this, that Royal Caribbean feels a step nicer, than most of the Carnival ships feel. Things are done just a little bit nicer. Some of the decor is almost, I don't want to say Disney Cruise Line, but I just remember going to Disney and feeling like things were just a little bit like they were just done a little better, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that. But it really boils down to personal preference. And the differences in decor are really, really, I think, small between Carnival's newest ships and Royal Caribbean overall.
Price is a tough one to compare because it all depends on the ship, your itinerary, and the time of the year.
Yeah.
We'd guess that you'd pay 10 to 20% more for a Royal Caribbean cruise than a comparable Carnival cruise.
All of these opinions kind of depend on you, but we've heard people say that like Carnival is the Walmart of cruising. It's like a slam, but Walmart's also very accessible. Mm-hmm. If Carnival is the Walmart of cruising, then I'm going to say that Royal Caribbean's like the Target of cruising. It's not that, they both sell the same stuff.
Yeah.
And they're both probably all made in other countries, right, at Walmart and Target. What's kind of like Royal Caribbean and Carnival, they're really very similar. It's just the window dressing is a little different. It just really depends on what your taste is.
Yeah.
It's so hard for us to call one better than the other. We tend to like the energy on Carnival, so I guess if we were pressed, we'd probably vote Carnival, but that would be, you'd have to press us pretty hard.
Well, for us, too, it's more about the experience we're having than it is about how it's decorated.
That's true.
So,
that's true. And I think maybe the big thing is that the decoration is maybe a little different, and the vibe is maybe a little more chill on Royal Caribbean. It's a little more energetic on Carnival. But that said, you really can't go wrong with a Royal Caribbean cruise. So
no.
We'll take. Hey, if you're buying us a cruise, we take a 7-day. That's our size. So, which one is your favorite? We'd love to hear your thoughts, criticisms. Especially if you've sailed on both lines.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better? So, we'd love to hear what differences you think we might have missed.
Because we know we have missed some.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't fit everything about a cruise line into one video. So, tell us your thoughts. So, hey, that's it for today. So, thanks for watching and. We'll see you next time.